Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Slamhub Wrestling. Myself Suprit, and this is episode number 3 of the Slamhub Wrestling podcast. If this is your first time on the channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell for all notifications. We here in Slamhub Wrestling cover all pro wrestling related stuff, including reviews for Raw, SmackDown, NXT, AEW Dynamite, and New Japan as well. And I'm joined by Abhishekh Anecha, aka Abby Maniac. What's up, Abby?
I'm fine, Suprit. How about you?
I'm doing good.
So today we are discussing NXT and AEW Dynamite. What do we have on our plate today?
Um, we are gonna talk about AEW Dynamite and NXT. Also, we are also gonna talk about the last two big releases that were Cain Velasquez and Curtis Axel. So, what did you think about these releases?
Uh, these releases basically, uh, in a grand scheme of things, I would say that uh, it was probably for the better. Now there were many talents who were thinking that they would get a better opportunity in the independent circuit. So now they have the said opportunity. Now the case of Cain Velasquez, I would say that it was basically uh, he was released from WWE because of uh, the cut of losses for the it is the basic logic because they in their heads are thinking that there could be a problem with regards to finances, and Cain Velasquez is not a very viable asset for them. He has only done one match for them, I guess,
Yeah, televised one match that was in Crown Jewel.
against Brock Lesnar.
Yes,
Yes, after that there hasn't been any match for him. No.
he did one live event in Mexico.
Okay. Okay.
That's it.
Uh, hmm Cain Velasquez was also recruited because of his great showing, in my opinion, at in AAA,
Yes,
and he was using a mask there, in my opinion.
yes, traditional Mexican style.
Yes, a lucha libre mask.
Yes,
So basically, they recruited him so that he would not be performing for Lucha Libre AAA, and AAA has good relations with AEW. So
yes.
it could be a reason. It could be a reason. So they used him for one match, and now with thinking that there could be possible financial problems in the future, and Cain Velasquez is getting a huge paycheck from them. So they basically released him. That's the thing that they uh, thought about for him. And there is also some dispute in the behind the scenes with WWE and the Saudi Arabia government, because a thing happened when the there was a very huge halaba regarding that their talents are being held hostage because their live feed was some 15 or 20 minutes late, which was airing there in Saudi Arabia. So there might be a problem regarding the Saudi Arabia and WWE deal also. So that also involves huge money. And so there are many financial reasons which have led to these huge releases. So that's it. And for what is your opinion regarding Cain Velasquez? Was he a very huge deal for WWE, or was he a better deal for AAA?
I was actually surprised they released him, but good on WWE to actually do it because I think he wasn't ready physically or mentally to work for a place like WWE.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
If you see him on TV, it was visible every time. Every time he came on TV, he was like, I don't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I
Would
hope he
we?
can. Go on,
No, no, no.
go on,
Please.
go on.
No, it could be a reason. It was a very difficult atmosphere if you compare from the Mexican scene and now here in a worldwide stage at WWE where everything is scripted and you are thrown in a storyline with the likes of Paul Heyman, Rey Mysterio, and Brock Lesnar. So it could be a very big, overwhelming sort of situation for Cain Velasquez also, who is being billed as the huge attraction for a debuting show on a big network like Fox. He was debuted on Fox, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, the first episode.
Yes, and straight into the into the big main picture, the main championship picture. So it could be overwhelming that some nights ago you were wrestling in AAA and now you are straight into the world title picture of the biggest promotion in the world. So it could be. It could be overwhelming.
I hope he can go to Mexico or maybe an AEW if he wants to.
Yes, he could, and if he likes to, obviously, and he could be an asset if he is used in the way that he wants, and he could do wonders. But only if he is given an conducive environment. And for the case of we were the second release was Curtis Axel.
Yes,
Curtis Axel, I basically the one of the biggest moments of his career was uh, not being eliminated from the Royal Rumble, and then going on for Axel Mania, the gimmick of Axel Mania, ripping off the shirt, and that was kind of a huge deal for the hardcore fans. They were getting along with him, but it didn't come to fruition afterwards any longer. And there was also one more instance when Paul Heyman got behind Curtis Axel as a manager, and but it was only for the purpose of uh, repeating on screen that Brock Lesnar defeated the Undertaker at WrestleMania and he beat the streak, and he was going on and on. The main purpose was that you have to drive home the point regarding the streak. That was the main purpose, maybe, I guess.
that was
And
before. That was in 2013. The streak ended in 2014.
sorry, that was Cesaro. Oh,
Yes,
I'm sorry. And that also didn't come to fruition. The Cesaro point, yes.
yes.
Cesaro didn't fruition, yes.
Cesaro was Cesaro was one thing, but 2013 should have been his year, his breakout year. The guy was beating Triple H, beating John Cena.
Hmm.
He also got an Intercontinental title run, which was looking like it was going to be good, but eh.
Hmm. Oh, that's the thing with WWE. And recently, there was also an interview that of some person that WWE won't. They are not seeing Cesaro as the main event star, even if he has everything. He had the connection with the fans. He has everything. He has the athleticism. He has the strength, but still he is not you know given the nudge, given the slight nudge, that end, the end to be given the main event spot. No, 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 no. You do not deserve that. That's the thing. The closest he came was with John Cena, the closest, in my opinion. So we are not talking about we all came to Cesaro because of me. But what is your opinion regarding Curtis Axel? Curtis Axel has a huge pedigree. He son of Mr. Perfect. He had everything. He also trained, or you can say, for trained The Rock for his in-ring return for CM Punk, for John Cena in his time. But what is the case for Curtis Axel in your opinion?
I think, like I said before, 2013 should have been his year.
Hmm.
But even after being aligned with Paul Heyman, the company lost faith in him for some reason. I don't know.
It also with the B team, they could have done with them. The fans were behind them, and it was organic, you can say, an organic thing with the B team too. And they also gave them the theme song, which was also very catchy with the fans. But nothing came about. They didn't do anything with them for the long haul.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. Everything that gets over organically and naturally in WWE, they work it for 3 4 months, then they kill it. Rusev Day got over, killed it in a year. Cesaro section, the whole thing got over, killed it in a year.
Mm.
Shinsuke Nakamura came into the main roster, killed him in just 3 months.
Sad reality of the WWE main roster, maybe. Uh, Vince McMahon maybe thinks another way that it would not, uh, you can say, hold up with the masses. That's his thinking. But the thing is that the masses think that way if many people are behind a certain commodity for so long, then masses also catch up to him. But maybe his patience is of a maybe 5 year old, that if you do not get results in maybe 1 2 3 weeks, then he just backs off and says, no boss, uh, I need another person. But the thing is, you have to have faith in your talents to get over and then get results in terms of merch money and ticket sales and other things. But you have to invest in them and have faith in them. How can you just push them for 1 2 3 weeks and just take it away and then expect that they didn't do well? It is their fault. How is that their fault? How is it their fault? How can the people catch up to people in just 1 week? And huge, it happens very small number of times. It cannot happen very much time. There is so much wrestling in the world. It only happens once in a miracle time, and you expect it to be every time. It doesn't happen.
Well, that's one reason why they don't do long-term booking.
Hmm. You have 1 month pay per view, so how can that's their whole problem. Because the thing is, with being a worldwide brand with so much audience, they have succumbed to complacency and just doing things as it is. So they are not indulging in long term booking with long term storylines, with having 1 month, every month pay per views. They are not indulging in long term stories, only 1 month stories. How can the fan invest when you have 1 month stories? How can they be logical unless you have people who know wrestling, who love wrestling in your creative room, in your creative table, in your creative team? In your creative team, you have people who belong to the television industry, who have won Emmy Awards for serials, for writing serials, for daily soaps. How do they know wrestling so much? They don't. So how can they write wrestling very well? They can't. They can't. That is why your product is in the toilet. You need to change rather than being a very having a very good image, being image oriented, and then having people who have won awards and who have good image in the society, having them in the team, rather than have people who know wrestling, who can, give certain insight to the product, have them in the team, so that you can also write well and then execute well.
Happy, there's a lot of things that WWE don't do right, and we can't cover that all in just one podcast.
That's the thing. Yes, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So, moving on, let's talk some Dynamite and NXT.
Hmm. Some things which they do right.
Yeah. So, you watch Dynamite. What did you think about this show? What did you think about this past couple of shows?
Past couple of shows. Last week was a very good show, and this week it was slightly less, but it was a good show. I take time out of my schedule to watch AEW Dynamite because I find it interesting and exciting rather. So I watch the product rather than I would much prefer to watch AEW Dynamite rather than watch Raw or a SmackDown. It is just my opinion and my preference. It is not to trigger anybody or offend anybody, but it is just my take because of the timing and because of the writing and because it is a fresh product, it is a new product, it is better. It is better for me. And this week it was slightly a little bit down from last week, but it was still a good show.
This even Dynamite feels very different compared to a Raw SmackDown, even a NXT with this like the effort they are putting into by making a like bringing these wrestlers and making them fans, sitting them in the crowd.
Hmm.
So
Yes, yes.
that's one factor that makes these shows so interesting.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I agree. Last week they used Britt Baker for a storyline, and she was sitting in the crowd
Yes.
with the shoe. That is innovative. I have not seen it before, and I didn't think in the initial point when she hit her with the shoe to Brandy Rhodes, and Brandy Rhodes just threw the shoe. I didn't think that Britt Baker would retaliate because that's a natural instinct for every human to retaliate. And she retaliated. So I thought, wow, that a natural thing is happening. How many times have we seen natural things happen on a wrestling show? Not many times nowadays. So
Tony Tony Khan has a very natural mindset. That's why.
it could be, and it felt natural and it felt organic that somebody somebody has thrown off your prized possession and you are retaliating for it.
Speaking of Double or Nothing, what do you think about the card so far?
Card so far, I am perfectly satisfied. I am very happy with the card. We have, first of all, the TNT Championship match with Cody Rhodes and Lance Archer, and we had the announcement that Iron Mike Tyson is going to present the TNT Championship. So
Yes.
it is a huge deal, in my opinion. And it was said in the Wrestling Observer that how this came about. It was because that Mike Tyson was backstage last year at Double or Nothing, and
Right.
he loved everything that happened on the show. So that's when the ball started rolling with regards to this year's appearance for the show. And we don't know that what what his presence might manifest on the show. We'll see. And we have Hikaru Shida versus Nyla Rose for the women's championship. That's also a great match on paper, and also with regards to both the competitors are equally, ferocious in their own rights, and it is a no DQ match. So it also gives a rather new edge to the said match. And we have other match.
We
We
have
have,
a casino ladder match.
yes, casino ladder match. The build for the same also happened in the few uh, in the first match of the night when Ray Phoenix attacked Orange Cassidy
Yes.
with the out of nowhere sidekick to the head. Um, and we also have Chris Statlander going up against Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. We should not take away anything. She is a dentist. We should say that out loud every time. And Mick Foley also tweeted a video saying that she is the best dentist wrestler of all time. We also have the number one contenders for the tag team championship to be crowned in the kickoff show when Private Party is uh,
Going against best friends.
yes, and we might have Orange Cassidy ringside. We may, not sure, because if the ladder match is happening afterwards, he would be, preparing for it. He has to clean his glasses and everything. So there's that, and we have the AEW World Championship match.
Sean Moxley versus Brodie Lee.
Yes, the exalted one. Oh, they are building Brodie Lee better and to the best possible way when we compare it to WWE. We They are also accentuating his size. Brodie Lee or Luke Harper, he didn't look as big as he is in WWE. Now he looks like a giant in AEW. What is your opinion regarding it?
First off, I want to ask, um, is it too early to put someone like Brodie Lee in a AEW World Championship match? And another point, what do you think about this Brodie Lee being a Vince McMahon character ripoff?
uh, is it too early? I it is a mixed feeling of sorts, because at this time they are also having a problem regarding the talent that who all are available, and plus they are also in a spot that they have to uh, make it a huge deal regarding Brodie Lee being here on AEW. So they have booked him straight into the WWE, oh sorry, AEW title picture, and also in a way they have also booked his faction, the Dark Order, also making them a huge deal. because before his arrival, they were just a bunch of shitty as people with masks and with uh, video packages that join the Dark Order, which were brilliantly presented and brilliantly executed. Good video packages, but in practicality in the ring, it was not manifesting very well their gimmick. But now with Brodie Lee, it can go far if you are going with building it like a faction, like a threat, the Dark Order, with their guy 10, who is built like a legit muscle for the faction too. So they are using the resources that they have to the best possible way. And your second question was regarding that using him like the Vince McMahon ripoff. The promos were very a little funny, and they were, yes, they were a direct shot at Vince McMahon. Now, whose idea was it? Was it for Brodie Lee that he was uh, proving that he could talk, because he said in an interview on Talk is Jericho that he was not given an apt opportunity in WWE to get his character over, and he was able to talk. But Vince McMahon said that people like you, who are built like you and who are like you, they should not talk. They should not be given promo time. So, in a way, he was rather proving him wrong. In his own way, he was trying to prove him wrong, and he was also building his character and getting cheap pops for himself. And it also creates a little buzz for their product. And that's it.
Speaking of this match, I think they are just they have booked this match for the time being so that John Moxley can in the coming months goes up against someone like MJF,
Yes, yes.
because
I agree.
MJF is being built up as strong just like Moxley. So that championship match is coming very soon.
Yes, yes, it is. It is. I agree with you. It is coming soon, and in the pay-per-view at Double or Nothing, MJF is going up against Jungle Boy
Yes,
in singles action.
yes.
Mm, I agree with you. I agree with you. MJF is one of the best on the microphone, and also with respect to his ring IQ. Also, he has what it takes to be a legit villain. So he could do wonders for AEW in the main title picture. So they are building him slowly, steadily, and it is coming soon, as you said. MJF, John Moxley World Heavyweight Championship. It is coming soon.
Now, how can we? Another big match was how can we forget this? It's called the Stadium Stampede match, the Elite versus Inner Circle.
Yes, yes. It most probably it came about from last week's show, the last week's chaos which happened, which in my opinion universally was loved by almost everybody. All the chaos, and then usage of the golf cart, and then running down Sammy Guevara, and then this week uh, half half alive, half dead Sammy Guevara was getting in the ring to fight. Yes, in my opinion, fighting in a stadium with Matt Hardy, with Kenny Omega, with the other members of the Elite with Vanguard 2. It would be the next version because first version they destroyed and into pieces with his baseball bat, Chris Jericho, Le Champion. So we could expect many things from the said match. Now WWE and AEW and many other companies have put a precedent regarding these cinematic matches, these matches which are edited, which are short. So this stadium stampede match would very well be in the same set of things. So it it could be it could be surprising, it could be exciting. Let's see what happens with
By
regards
the
to
way,
them.
you're forgetting Vanguard one was not the only one to get murdered on Dynamite this week.
Uh, who else was murdered?
How can you forget Chris Jericho killed that idiot Pineapple Pete?
Oh, no, no. With one Judas effect.
Yes.
He was building momentum. I was thinking, yes, yes, Pineapple Pete would be winning this match, and it is great. His real build name is Shug D. Um, the build for the match was so funny. And Chris Jericho can elevate anybody. He can do anything. From many weeks, he is disparaging this guy who was sitting in the crowd as a wrestler, and then it manifested into a singles match. Last week, he attacked from behind. Shug D attacked, Pineapple Pete attacked Chris Jericho while his entrance, and now it happened in a singles match, and he looked like a like a monster, like a threat, and people would have thought that he might get a little bit more offense and something could happen. But if you are a wrestling purist and with a lot of experience regarding wrestling, you would be knowing that it is going to end rather very, 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 very quickly. And it happened. So it was a good set of showing. But maybe Shugdi would get a contract if they were impressed by whatever he did and his video package also. So let's see what the future has in store for him.
Back to double or nothing. You ran through the entire card.
Yeah.
My question to you is this pay-per-view worth $50?
Um, I am from India, so I would not be caring so much for the $50. But the thing is that wrestling fans in United States and uh, i- in the past, when WWE Network didn't exist, they were shilling out such an amount for pay-per-views, and you have the said pay-per-view on the on traditional pay-per-view, on Fight, on AEW Plus, maybe I guess, and on BR Live. So there are many options, and for the money, if you are thinking that the amount, uh, it is all based on perspective, in my opinion. If you would shell out, if you are a fan of the product, if you are a fan of the wrestlers, you would definitely shell out. And there are weeks to build up the story regarding the matches, and also it is also a huge uh, you can say a bad situation regarding there are no fans, so it is also hampering the experience to watch a pay-per-view, to watch a show. So yes, I agree to a certain limit that you would think twice or thrice regarding shelling out $50 for the said product. But if you are a fan, you would. If you want to watch, you would.
Two more topics. One is related to AEW. Another is regarding Becky Lynch that we talked briefly on the Raw review. So make sure you check that out if you didn't. So talking about Becky Lynch, um, do you think we have seen the last of Becky Lynch in pro wrestling in WWE in general?
Hmm. uh, is maybe, I would say maybe. One person on Instagram, he said in his story that, and it is also a little bit common sense that Becky Lynch would be out for at least 1.5 years,
That's true.
basically, at least. And she also, as we discussed, that she was garnering interest from Hollywood, and she also had, I guess, signed a movie with Marvel. So we don't know that, uh, and we can't say if we will ever see Becky Lynch ever again in WWE, or if we would see her, it would be in a very part time sort of capacity. And she left at the top when she was basically, quote unquote, the man. She had the biggest moment last year on WrestleMania when she won the women's championship. She became the undisputed women's champion by defeating Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair. So that was the peak. And then afterwards, she held the title and she kept afloat the WWE Women's Division, and she was the top dog of the company, and she was everywhere on posters. What she talked about that she would be, she became that. So now what was left, I don't know. Now when she will come back, she will have some challenge, but whatever she wanted to accomplish, I guess she did. What is your take regarding that?
Like you said, she has done everything she had to do in the last 5 6 years. But getting back to our question that if she's gonna return or not, it's it's a guarantee that she's not coming back as a full-time performer.
Hmm.
Maybe she comes in a somewhat of a Brock Lesnar and or even a Goldberg type of schedule if she can manage that.
Hmm.
So that's my take.
Hmm.
Anything else regarding Becky Lynch?
No, I don't think so. Anything else is rather uh, only. I want to say that Seth Rollins gets his shit together soon. That's it.
I almost forgot. We didn't touch upon on NXT. I know that you aren't keeping up with the product. Anything you want to talk about NXT?
NXT, uh, when you proposed we would be discussing NXT today. So I went through the show and I thought that the show was good, was not bad at all, and there are many storylines which are going through. Some which we talked about, and some which I also went through and I got to know about. We got new tag team champions with the Imperium,
Yes,
and we got a breakup of a new tag team, Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher,
yes,
which transitioned into a main event bout. And I saw for a very, you can say, a very big hiatus, Finn Balor. I saw his Titantron having the word Prince, 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 Prince. So I thought, wow, Vince McMahon is not here. I guess we have Prince here, Prince David. Prince is being said upon on commentary too. It is good. And we saw Rhea Ripley's backstage interview with the camera, which was also fine. That she would be fighting Io Shirai next week because of the thing that happened last week. Io Shirai was saying that I did not need your help with Charlotte Flair beating my ass with a kendo stick, which was very reminiscent of what happened with Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. It is good. We can have a triple threat match with Charlotte Flair, Io Shirai, and Rhea Ripley.
that's the
Uh,
easy way out. Easy way out
that
to get the title of Charlotte.
that is the easy way out, and that is what is the WWE way out. So, and I also saw with that video package regarding Dakota Kai that she is in a situation with having a heater, Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez, that is basically a dynamic of Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash, which Shawn Michaels also talked about recently in an episode of WWE Backstage. Shawn Michaels came up with the said dynamic for Dakota Kai, and it there were many things happening. There was also two cruiserweight matches which happened. I liked Jake Atlas's finisher. That was very innovative. Cartwheel moonsault DDT. That was great. And Cameron Grimes, Trevor Lee getting the win, and then Damian Priest helped basically by hitting Finn Balor, and then afterwards he also got in and hit Finn Balor with the Reckoning, and Finn Balor and Damian Priest would be in a feud, and Damian Priest was the attacker a few weeks ago. Something happened. What
Yes,
happened a few weeks ago?
there was a small angle that Finn Balor got attacked in the locker room, and this was it.
Okay, okay. And there was also a segment regarding dinner with the Garganos. That was also good. Uh, Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano are now basically villains,
Yes,
husband and wife.
yes.
Also good. That happened in a cinematic match with Tommaso Ciampa, and now Tommaso Ciampa is embroiled in the feud with Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux.
Speaking about Karrion Kross, what did you think about that Grand epic debut of Karrion Kross and Scarlett Bordeaux. Another question: is Karrion Kross the next big thing in WWE?
I saw the debut entrance of Karrion Kross. I was looking forward to see the entrance uh, of Karrion Kross, Killer Kross. I was awe, in awe of the spectacle of the entrance. I was like, wow, like holy shit, like what is this basically? I am following Killer Cross from Impact Wrestling, so I can understand his set of mindset and his build from Impact Wrestling, from the independent scene, and now he is in WWE NXT. There were many contractual problems with Impact Wrestling, and now it has all been settled, and now he is in NXT. And you were saying that maybe he would be garnering interest in the main roster, and he would be on the main roster very soon, which I agree to, that it will happen because of his character and because of his allegiance with Scarlett, and they look great together, and it is an item, it is a package basically. And Scarlett can wrestle too. If people do not know, she can wrestle too. We have seen in AAA, if people follow AAA, Lucha Libre, she can wrestle too. So it is to be seen if WWE will use her in that capacity right now or soon or in the future. But it is a great pairing. Impact Wrestling didn't use them together yet. They were gonna use them in the future, but things happened, and now we are seeing them together in NXT in full and all of their glory. It is awesome, in my opinion. What was your opinion regarding that?
Same as you said, I love the entrance. We haven't seen this type of epic entrance. The last time we saw something like this was with Nakamura and how people. What
Mhm.
is the word I'm looking for?
Engaged and enthralled, maybe.
Yes, yes,
Mhm. Yes, and the things that is noticeable is his look and his expressions. That is the most you can say the evil, the demonic, which also captivates you and it also scares you
yeah. He is
to a
the total
certain
package.
point.
He is the total package that this company needs, and they has have to push.
Yes, I agree. They would not and should not mess with this guy, because if and when he would leave this place, he would get so much attention and so much attraction from companies that it is just, you can say, unprecedented. He was having so much attraction. He was wrestling almost everywhere, every independent circuit. He was with AAA. He was everywhere. He had the look. He had the wrestling skill. His Doomsday Saito suplex, his cross jacket choke hold, and now we are seeing it at a world stage, you can say, or at a bigger stage, at the biggest stage maybe possible. So now it is time, and now WWE would not and should not mess with Karrion Killer Cross.
So that's our take on Karrion Cross. Our last topic is regarding one Kenny Omega. So A few weeks ago, he got criticism for going 6 minutes with an enhancement talent. So
Mhm.
you have seen Dynamite, yeah, you have seen
Yeah.
Dynamite for the past few weeks. Do you think AEW is not presenting Kenny Omega like a big star?
Um there is very much an opinion regarding Kenny Omega and that how he was built as a monster in Japan in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He has maybe lost some of it here in AEW. The thing is that here you have to have weekly television and also you are catering to a new audience. Also, you have to make many people aware of the other superstars as well, other wrestlers as well, not only you and only you, because the people who are watching initially, they know you and people from Japan also, they know you as a big superstar. So he has now transitioned as a executive vice president in a role of elevating other superstars. That is why maybe he has the championship right now, the tag team championship, one half with Hangman Adam Page, also to get to elevate other stars as well. And so it is a rather okay take on the same, and that with regards to the having a squash match with an enhancement talent rather than having a good wrestling match for minutes and then also putting the enhancement talent over, that I there is a purpose regarding having an enhancement talent match. It is to put yourself over, it is to put a certain superstar over, not the enhancement talent over. Now if you are making an example that we are a better company, we are also getting over the enhancement talent too. There are established things, there is a purpose of a said match. You got to have a long match if it is adding to a storyline. If it is not adding to a storyline, why are you having a long match on weekly television? And you have to also protect your body. Just for the sake of that I am a great wrestler, I have to show people that I am a great wrestler. You are having a 10 minutes match with a enhancement talent. It doesn't serve any logic. It doesn't serve any logic. It would have served a logic if you have wrestled another person. And I agree that at this time there aren't many wrestlers available from your roster because of the virus hysteria that you have had a match with for 15 minutes. But you should not have a match with an enhancement talent or a new talent for 15 or 10 minutes with great wrestling back and forth, which doesn't serve any purpose in the long run. How does it serve any logic? The enhancement talent will get a job with your company if he performs well on AEW Dark. Give him an opportunity on AEW Dark or on your gym, Nightmare Family Gym, or other independent wrestling companies and promotions. Why are you giving him a stage with a worldwide superstar on AEW Dynamite? Why?
So before we go, where can these guys find you then?
You guys can find me at Abby Maniac on Instagram and Twitter, and you can watch the latest episodes of Wrestle Square War at youtube.com/Wrestle Square. This Saturday, 9 p.m., new episode is going on YouTube. And I am Abhishekh Aneja. I am the commentator and the on-screen acting general manager of Wrestle Square.
You can guys find Slam Up Wrestling on Twitter at SlamUpW, Instagram at Slam Up Wrestling. Our podcast and reviews are mainly audio based. And if you don't want your YouTube app running for that, then you can catch Slam Up Wrestling on Anchor and Spotify as well. This is episode number 3 of Slam Up Wrestling podcast. And we will see you guys next time.